What's going on, everyone? My name is Andrew. Welcome back to a brand new exciting video. Alright guys, so where my room is in the house is like directly above the garage, and because of that we get terrible air conditioning in here. It's like the frog or the loft or whatever you want to call it. And recently summer just like went from 0 to 100 real fast, and this room is really hot. It doesn't really help that I'm wearing a hoodie. Anyways guys, today we're doing something really cool. A couple weeks ago I posted a video about 5 editing hacks for instantly better photos, and today we're doing something similar where I go over 5 editing hacks for instantly better videos. Now obviously editing styles are very subjective, and what I think looks better you might not personally agree with. Either way, I think these are some tools that will definitely help you guys out if you don't know about them already. Be sure to give this video a thumbs up if you enjoy it, and let's jump onto the computer and start talking about these 5 editing hacks. Alright guys, so we're inside of Adobe After Effects now, and this is the clip that we're going to be working with. I'm not going to be going over all the details of how I edited this clip, just how these 5 different editing hacks help to improve the overall quality and believability of this edit. And the first editing hack we're going to be talking about is the garbage mask. If we double click on this composition, you can see this is where I keyed out the sky in the background. And if we go down to the bottom of this clip, you can see I've got 2 different layers here called Garbage Mask 1 and Garbage Mask 2. Now essentially all garbage masks are is when you draw a rough mask around the area you want to key before you actually key it out. So for instance, for this particular key, I wanted to key out the areas just around the hair. I didn't want to worry about any other section of the sky. So what I first did is I drew a rough mask around my head, and then I went through and I just keyframed this little mask around my face. It was super easy, nothing too complicated at all. And what I'm doing is I'm isolating the part that I want to focus on with my key. After that, I was able to go in with this Illuma key effect. You can see I turned it off right there. I'll turn it back on, and I was able to do a proper key for just that section of the screen. This is a huge part of doing a proper key, and you're gonna get better results when you go ahead and do a garbage mask around an area and then key it out. So for instance, for the sky, if I wanted to, I could go through and just draw a rough mask around the sky, track it through, and then key it out. That's just gonna overall help your workflow for doing a good key, and it's also just gonna help to have a better overall final product. So that's editing hack number 1, using the garbage mask. Now coming in hot with editing hack number 2, which is similar and related to this, and it's just using an effect called key cleaner. Now this is an effect that I didn't know about for a while. I've talked about it in a few videos before though. I'm gonna go ahead and zoom in on my head here and watch really carefully around the edges of my hair. We've got the key cleaner effect already applied. When I turn it off, you can see how rough and pixelated and unnatural those edges are. And when I just turn it back on, boom, there you go. It takes care of it. It softens up the edges. And that was all I had to do for this key. By the way, guys, I didn't even mess around with any of the settings. You can if you want. I'll go ahead and take it off and then just apply it once again. And there you go. You can see that it just keys out those edges. So that's a super easy, straightforward editing hack, and that is editing hack number 2, use the key cleaner effect. Alright, and now moving on to editing hack number 3, which is using an NVIDIA GPU. Now this is the only hack that we're talking about today that actually costs the money. However, if you have the money, I think an NVIDIA GPU is well worth the purchase, and if you don't have the money right now, or you just aren't in a situation to be able to buy a new GPU, I think it's still valuable to have a general knowledge of GPUs, what they do, and what kind of an effect they have on your editing process. Now once again guys, this video is actually sponsored by NVIDIA. They were nice enough to send me out their RTX 2080 Ti GPU, and let me just say, this thing is a beast. I shoot all of my tutorials almost exclusively in 4K, and 4K just puts a lot of pressure on a computer, a lot of strain. Those are big processing files, and a lot of times the computer, it's trying, and it just can't keep up because there's such big files. But with a GPU like this, you can apply insane effects, insane transitions, insane motion graphics to your footage without sacrificing any kind of render quality, and you can render up to 8K red raw files without pre-caching or using any kind of proxies. So what I wanted to do is I wanted to go ahead and try to give you guys an idea of the difference having an NVIDIA GPU, having the 2080 Ti GPU makes for an editor for the rendering process. But unfortunately, I actually only have one computer. I don't have a laptop or anything like that. I just have this one editing PC, so I don't really have any computers of my own that I can compare it to. If you guys are interested in seeing those kinds of comparisons, I'll link a couple videos down below where you can check them out. But I still want to do some kind of comparison to give you guys an idea of the power of this GPU. So here's what I did. I have a 3-minute 4K clip right here. I have an adjustment layer with Lumetri color applied. I have a custom LUT loaded into this. And then I also applied like a few different motion graphics and things like that. And now inside of a Premiere Pro, if you go up to File, project settings general, you can go down to this section that's called renderer, and you're gonna have two options here. The first is you're gonna have Mercury Playback Engine software only, and now that's like the standard inside of Premiere. But if you have an NVIDIA graphics card, you have a second option called Mercury Playback Engine GPU Acceleration CUDA. So I'm gonna go ahead and apply this, and this is using the full GPU acceleration that's offered from this card, and you can see it's playing through that footage so smoothly. Now what I did is I did a comparison between the software only renderer and the GPU acceleration CUDA renderer. I went ahead and started off by rendering out this 4K video, the 3-minute 4K video, using the software only renderer, and the total elapsed time to export that video was 14 minutes and 39 seconds. And then I went ahead and switched the renderer and rendered out this video once again using the GPU accelerated CUDA, and the video exported out in 2 minutes and 26 seconds. So you can see there's a massive difference between those two options. This is a 3-minute 4K footage, and it was able to export out the video in a less amount of time than the video itself. It's a 3-minute video, and it was able to export it out in 2 minutes and 26 seconds. That's crazy. That's like unheard of with graphics cards, with editing. Now keep in mind, this isn't the only graphics card that has CUDA or anything like that. This is sort of like comparing apples and oranges. It isn't great, but I hope it gives you a little bit of perspective of how much power this graphics card really offers. So overall, guys, the power of NVIDIA cards is no joke. It's definitely an editing hack. It's gonna save you so much time. So investing in an NVIDIA GPU is 100% an editing hack. I'll have more information linked down below if you guys want to learn more about that. And there you guys have it. Moving on to editing hack number 3, which is using a free plugin called Console from videocopilot.com. A lot of people ask me about how I pull up this menu type thing inside of After Effects. Whenever I select a layer in After Effects and I hit Control Space, it automatically brings up this toolbar, and I can type in whatever effect I want. So I'll type in Key Cleaner, and then when I hit Enter, it automatically adds it to that clip. Once again, time is money. This is a super efficient way to just add effects to your layers inside of After Effects. I never ever actually go over to the effects presets panel anymore. I literally always just type in whatever effect I want. Super useful, 100% free. Definitely an editing hack. I wish I knew about it sooner, so definitely check it out. I'll have a link down below. It's a free plugin for After Effects and saves you a ton of time. And alright guys, the final editing hack for this video is using an 18:9 aspect ratio. I get a lot of questions on this channel about what kind of aspect ratio I use, because all of my videos are slightly wider than the normal 16:9. If you look at people like MKBHD or more recently Peter McKinnon, you can see their videos are a little bit wider. I first noticed a couple months ago that MKBHD was using a different aspect ratio than most. I looked into it, found out it was an 18:9 aspect ratio, and the main reason people do that is because on iPhones unlike this, on iPhones like the iPhone 10 for instance, or the 10s or whatever, the newer, longer phones with smaller bevels, if you have a standard 16:9 aspect ratio, it doesn't fill up the whole screen, but if you use the slightly wider 18:9 aspect ratio, it fills up the whole screen, and overall just looks a lot better. I like this aspect ratio more, even just on the computer. I think it looks better slightly wider like that. I do this inside of Adobe Premiere Pro, so here's my linked comp to the clip that I composited inside of After Effects. The way I'm going to change the aspect ratio is I go over to my sequence. The sequence is created when you slide in your first piece of footage. It's going to have this little green icon next to it. Go ahead and right click on that, go up to sequence settings. Now I have pretty much all my videos in 4K. Even if they're in 1080, I upscale them to 4K. So my frame size is 3840 2160. The way I'm going to change that is by going 3840 and changing the second number to 1920. Click OK, and now you can see it's just punched in a little bit, and that is the 18:9 or 2:1 aspect ratio. If you guys are shooting in 1080, I'll have the exact dimensions down below as well. But that's it for the final editing hack using the 18:9 aspect ratio. It's super relevant in today's bevel-less society, if you will. So there you guys have it. That's about it for this video. Those are my 5 editing hacks for instantly better, in my opinion, videos. Let me know what you guys think about these hacks. Let me know what you guys think about this clip down below. If you guys enjoyed this video, I would really appreciate it if you give it a thumbs up, and let me know what videos you guys want to see in the future. It's really hot in here, so I'm gonna go ahead and take off the hoodie. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I really hope you guys enjoyed it, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.